What's up, everybody, and welcome to part 2 of my fall 2023 pickups. In today's video, we're going to take a look at everything I picked up in November. Now, if you missed part 1, which was everything I picked up back in October, I will drop a link in the description below, so be sure to check that out, and be sure to subscribe so you don't miss any future videos. All right, let's dive in. So first off, at a local thrift store that I've mentioned a couple times before, it's the one with the really weird limited hours, I tracked down some pretty cool accessories for Nintendo Wii. So first off, I found one of the Guitar Hero guitar controllers, of course, and if you can see here, it was only $5, and it actually has a Wii remote in the guitar. Now, unfortunately, it is missing the back panel to kind of keep the Wii remote in place, but it's pretty locked in there, so for $5, not going to pass that up. And another very, very cool accessory, I don't even know if I could get the whole thing in frame here, it is a Wii gaming tower. So you can see the top half has slots for, I believe it's 15 or 20 video games in the Wii cases, of course. Down here, there's a designated spot for the console itself. And on the sides over here, we have a clip for the guitar controller and a couple little slots for Wii remotes. Now this, believe it or not, was also only $5. So I could not pass that up. Okay. Then, early on in the month, I went out to a few thrift stores in a town that I very rarely go to. I honestly only make it out there maybe once a year, once every 2 years. So it's not really my usual stomping ground, so to speak. But scoped out their thrift stores, as I always do, and found a couple cool things. So first of all, I found a Rick and Morty dice game called The Morty Zone for $3.95. Just to show you a quick look at the back. So this features a lot of the different, like, multiversal versions of Rick and Morty, if you're a fan of the show. And I opened it up, and it is 100% complete, and a lot of the components are unopened. So $4 was a great price on that. And then, right in the middle here, I stopped at a Goodwill out there, and I found a Green Man bobblehead from It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. And that was just $2.99. Now, I am a huge fan of this show. I've seen every episode multiple times. I love it. And Green Man, Charlie's kind of random mascot character that he created, is always a favorite. So I thought that was a really cool find. Then the last shop I stopped at out in that area was a Salvation Army. And I got a couple cool, somewhat unusual things. First off, nothing, not super unusual, but I found the first season of Yokai Watch, the anime based on the video games that were on Nintendo 3DS. So this was tagged $4.99, but white tags were half off, so I got it for a whopping $2.50, and it is sealed. Also, found a couple pretty obscure VHS tapes of old animated films that I remember from when I was a kid back in the 80s. So the first one is The Care Bears Adventures in Wonderland. And again, that was a white tag, so it was only 99 cents. But it is the correct tape. It's in decent shape. And of course, I remember The Care Bears Adventure, the main movie. But this was one of the later movies that includes some of the, I don't recall what they were called, but the different, like, animal Care Bear friends. So there's, like, the lion character. I think I saw, yeah, there's a rabbit on the back, too. So excited to check that out again for the first time in probably, like, 30 years. And then another film that I had completely forgotten about, but I recall seeing as a child, which is Freddy the Frog. And again, this was just 99 cents. So this one, it says it's the world's most lovable new animated superhero. So I really don't remember too many details about this, but it says it features the voice talents of James Earl Jones, Ben Kingsley, and Nigel Hawthorne. I don't know him by name. But yeah, for 99 cents, figured I'd check it out. Let's see if it holds up. And then a few other things at that store. They randomly had just put out a bunch of Build-A-Bear plush. So I got some pretty cool ones. I got Wicket, the Ewok, of course from Star Wars, specifically Return of the Jedi, which is still, I would say, my favorite film in the franchise. Because I was born in '83, so obviously I didn't see it in a theater like when I was a baby. But I remember I have like flashes from my childhood of seeing speeder bikes, and I think we watched like the Ewok animated series, and then I like the Ewok or the live action movie. So it's always just been kind of like my favorite childhood memory of Star Wars. But anyway, got Wicket for $4.99, and then got Yoshi, of course, from the Mario games, and he was just $2.99. And one other one, which is just a kind of cool Christmas tree with a little star on its head. And I looked it up. This one I think was like a limited edition, or obviously for Christmas time, but it was only $1.99. So I thought he would be a cool, kind of cute Christmas decoration. Then moving on, back in my usual stomping grounds, I went to Savers and got some pretty good stuff this time. So first off, I got a couple plush. So here we have a Pokemon. This is Sliggoo, if I'm not mistaken. And it was a little pricey. It was $4.99, but I did have a pretty good coupon that was like, I think it was like $20 off of $50, something like that. So I got it significantly cheaper. And I looked it up. This specific plush, it is definitely an authentic Sun A brand, and it looks like this normally retails for about $40. So I'm pretty happy with the probably like $3.50, $4 I paid for it. Also got a pair of little Pac-Man ghosts. So this little bag was $4.49, again with probably about 20, 25, 30% discount. Then I found, let me jump over here, I found, I believe this is by Funko. Yep, so this is the Funko Disney's Haunted Mansion Call of the Spirits game. And this was $5.99, but everything inside is unused. And it looks like it normally sells for about like 20, 25 bucks. And again, I was able to get it for roughly like $4. So, we really like this franchise. The new movie was okay, but, fan of the ride and whatnot. Or my fiance says it's cool. I've never been there. But thought this would be cool. And then I found a very cool laser disc of James Bond 007 Moonraker. So, by no means my favorite James Bond movie, but I just thought this artwork was really cool. We of course have James Bond in the center there, Jaws kind of floating in behind him, and some of the lovely Bond ladies in the background. And this was $4.99, but again, discounted. So I thought that was cool. And then finally, by some miracle, I got both the Lego Super Mario and Luigi starter courses. And they were both, hopefully you can see that, $14.99. There's a tag on Luigi. So of course they were both open, as most Lego sets you find at thrift stores are, and it's always kind of a crapshoot as to if they're going to be complete, if it's even going to be the right set in there, or if it's even going to be Legos. But this time I was very lucky. So the Mario set, I believe one piece was missing. There's like this little clear pole that holds a little cloud piece. That's literally the only thing missing. It had, I have them out here, had the Mario figure, which does work. Had all of the other buildable characters. There's Bowser Jr., a Goomba, a Warp Pipe, Question Block. It's all in there. And then the Luigi set is 100% complete. And did have Luigi. But what was kind of crazy is between the two sets, there were a bunch of random pieces that I was able to put together. And it's really cool stuff. So there was a Lumiere and Cogsworth from Beauty and the Beast. So these were actually Toys R Us exclusive little building sets that they gave out for some promotion years ago. And I recall we actually did get Lumiere, but our store was out of the little face stickers. So we have the whole kit built, but it doesn't have a face. So now we have one, and then we got Cogsworth now. Also, there was this really cute little Santa Claus that I assume is from some Christmas themed building set. There was a Darth Vader minifigure with his helmet and cape. And then, unfortunately, no Spider-Man himself, but I did get some of his webbing, as well as some, like, webbed hand accessories. And the Vulture from Spider-Man Homecoming. And as far as I could tell, he is complete. I mean, he has all of the pieces of his wings, both of these little booster things here, and he even has a little pistol. So, just insane that these were in 2 sets I was going to buy regardless. An awesome little bonus. Get these. Oh, one more thing I forgot. There's a little battle droid from Star Wars. That was in one of them as well. Lay these aside so we can continue. Alrighty. Next up, let's take a look at these. So I have, in my area, there's basically 3 main chains of thrift stores. So we have Goodwill, Salvation Army, and then Sparrow's Nest, which some of the stores go by Home of the Sparrow. So that one's more of a like actual charity-based one. But one of the stores near me has all of their movies and books, or at least their paperback books, are all only 50 cents each. So 99% of the time they don't have anything amazing, but sometimes they do. And this time I got a couple pretty cool things. So first off, I got a book that I thought looked really fun, which is Prehistoric Origami. So I love dinosaurs, and I enjoyed doing origami as I was a kid. I'm, big into Japanese cultural things, so that was a no-brainer for 50 cents. And then I got a Blu-ray of a very old film that I've heard is great. I don't believe I've seen it before, but it's called The African Queen, starring Humphrey Bogart and Katharine Hepburn. 50 cents. And then this one I was pretty shocked to see. It's Evangelion 1.11, which is the first movie of the Rebuild series on DVD, and it's like the special edition with the slipcase. So this one, I actually already have on Blu-ray, so I bought this thinking, it's definitely worth more than 50 cents. But I decided to hang on to it because when I went to check it out, I realized it's signed by Rei Ayanami's voice actress. For 50 cents! Insane. Okay, next. I tried to group these by store this time, so let me start with these. Now, these weren't all from the same store or even the same trip, but I'll do my best to kind of do them in order, so to speak. Or, I'll just do it by what I got. Okay, anyway, first off, got a whole bunch of DVDs this month, or in November. So first off, I got The Muppets Wizard of Oz, which I have never seen before, and I don't even remember this one coming out, to be honest. Looks like... Okay, said it was... Or the DVD, anyway, was released in 2005, so I may have been in Japan when this released. But I love The Muppets. I have all the other feature-length movies except this one, so figured I'd check that out. Got Jules Verne's Mysterious Island, which I enjoyed some of the Jules Verne books when I was a kid. I think I read, what's the one? Journey to the Center of the Earth? I think that's Jules Verne. That was really cool. But what I thought was really interesting about this one is it says the special effects were done by Ray Harryhausen, who did a lot of incredible stop-motion effects work back in the day. I have a collection of his films, but this one was not included. So he did Clash of the Titans, Jason and the Argonauts, a lot of that kind of stuff. But, yeah, really excited to check this one out. Then I got one of the Pokemon anime films. This one is Hoopa and the Clash of Ages. I have not seen this one. I think... Yeah, didn't see the last maybe 5 or 6 movies. So just trying to catch up. Got that. And then I found what ended up being the complete series of an anime that sounded pretty interesting. This one is called Ghost Hunt. And so it's in 2 separate cases with little slim packs. And so we have part 1, which is episodes 1 through 13, and then part 2, which is episodes 14 through 25. And both of these sets were just $2.99 each. Plus, I think I got 20% off. And you can see here, at some point, this was being sold used for $31.99. So, I don't know that it's worth that much anymore, but for $6 or $5 that I paid for it, it looked cool. And then, in a crazy lucky find, I found seasons 3 through 8 of Bob's Burgers. I absolutely love this show, and they actually also had seasons 1 and 2, but I already owned them, so I left those for somebody else to enjoy. But I've kind of had these on my Amazon wish list for years at this point, but I feel like the cheapest I ever see them is maybe about like 20 or 25 bucks, because a lot of these, I'm pretty sure, are part of their like print on demand program, where they're not like CDRs or DVDRs rather, but they're manufactured on demand, so it's not like super retail quality for like the art inserts, for example. But anyway, yeah, I've never seen them that cheap, and I got every single season for $2.99 each. And season 7 and 8 are still sealed. So that was a very, very cool find. Okay, next, a couple more Goodwill things to show you. Let me just do this guy. So I got a little plush. If you're not familiar with this character, this is Doraemon, who is, if you watch my previous video, I got a old Sega game featuring him and mentioned that he's essentially Japan's Mickey Mouse. So he's this insanely popular character that's been in dozens of movies, TV shows, video games. There's hundreds of toys and just household things. He's a huge deal over there. But relatively unknown in the US, at least in my experience. But a cool little plush here. So he's got like a little cape. He's some kind of little superhero with a big bag of yen. With a dollar sign on it, oddly enough. Okay, and then, whoop, down he goes. Next, I grabbed a book that it's accredited to Michael Crichton, but this came out several years after he passed away. And this is actually a sequel to the Andromeda strain called the Andromeda Evolution. I'm pretty sure I have every other book written by Michael Crichton. He was one of my favorite authors growing up. I actually read Jurassic Park when I was 10 years old. So, I loved reading, I still do. But anyway, I had never seen this one, and so it was $2.99, but I think I got like 20% off, so thought that would be cool to check out. Got a couple little toys here. So this is Dr. Eggman without his mustache. He's definitely supposed to have one. It looks like it just broke off at some point. But so this was $1.99. And may have actually been half off the day I got it. But what's interesting about this, this is the Sonic Adventure Eggman figure from a company called Toy Island that came out in, I want to say, like the early 2000s, very early 2000s. And now they're not as big a deal because Jax has been releasing like every Sonic character under the sun. But at one point, these figures were extremely expensive on the secondary market. And I actually had this figure new in box and ended up selling him. So even without the mustache, I'm happy to replace it for $2. Then a couple other toys here. So here I got a toy bag. Mostly just a couple random animals, but the reason I got it is it actually had the Jurassic World Ceratosaurus. And this is one of the newer ones. It's a roarivore, so it has multiple, like, roar settings. I'll show you here. Check it out. So, pretty cool. And I mean, this normally I think would be about maybe like a $20 figure. So to get it with this other stuff for $3, great deal. There's just like otherwise a little. Is that Simba or Mufasa? I think it's Simba from The Lion King. There's like a random little generic alligator, little generic bear. I mean, it looks almost like the Chicago Cubs mascot. I don't know. And then there's this random tiger that I was curious. I know a couple years ago, Leonard did a set of figures for one of the Jumanji movies, but I'm not seeing any branding on this one. It could just be like a generic thing. Okay, anyway, so got all that. $3. And then, let's see, was that Goodwill? Yes. This I thought was too funny. It's Nancy Pearl, librarian action figure for $1.99. New on card. It's pretty beat up. I'm probably going to open it anyway, just to put with other figures. But if you could see there, she's actually doing a shushing motion. So I thought that was pretty funny. There's $2 on that. And then move this if I can. Okay, next up. Oh, here. So here I found a set. I don't know if they're all in there, but they are some pretty cool Mewtwo trading card sleeves. It was $1.99 for this pack. So it looks like they're, I don't know, it says they're supposed to be 65. I don't know if there's that many in there, but looks like a decent amount. And then a couple games. So this one is a card game called Hanabi. And Hanabi is the Japanese word for fireworks. So this, I looked it up. It had pretty good reviews, looked like a lot of fun, and it is complete. And it was just $1.99. Possibly may have actually been half that, if I remember correctly. Then at a different store, on another trip, I found this game. Okay, this was $2.99. And this is a logic game from ThinkFun called Hacker. So I have a lot of these different ThinkFun games. They're obviously, geared towards children because they're like educational. But I've always loved logic puzzles and, like crosswords and Picross games, for example, nonograms. So I have a lot of fun with these. And you can play most of them one player. So this one looked pretty fun. And I did crack it open, and it's all unused inside the box. Then a couple other Goodwill things. So I found an old computer game called Roller Typing. And that was $2.99, but it is brand new and sealed. It's pretty dusty and dirty, but whatever. I'm probably going to open it and play it. It's a typing training game featuring rollerbladers. So I looked it up. It looks like it had pretty good reviews. A lot of people are like, oh, this is my favorite game as a kid. And I really enjoy typing games. I love the Typing of the Dead, for example. So thought this would be a cool thing to check out. Then just two more Goodwill finds. Here I found the Active Life Extreme Challenge box set for Nintendo Wii, and that was $3.99. So this actually does not have the game inside the box, which it's supposed to. It's just the mat and the outer box, but I already have the game, and I didn't have all the bonus stuff. So cool to add another big box to my collection. I have all of the other Dance Dance Revolution bundles and these other like Active Life games that are a lot of fun. Then one more thing, I found a wireless controller for an Atari, what's it called? Atari Flashback. So it was a little more than I would normally pay, $2.99, but I did pick up an Atari Flashback at, I believe it was Midwest Gaming Classic a year or two ago for $1. So I have just the console itself, and it works, but I didn't have a controller for it, so here we go. Now I can finally play it. Okay, next up, let's talk about some Salvation Army finds. First off, just because they're falling on me, I got a couple plush. So I have a very cool Detective Pikachu plush. Officially licensed. This is from Wicked Cool Toys. He was just $2.99. So I saw the movie, which I thought was great. I haven't actually played the games yet. I have the one for 3DS, but haven't picked up the sequel. But I just thought it was a really cute little plushie. And then got this monstrous Squirtle plush. So he is full of, like, it feels like little foam beads. So I feel like this might have been like a Dave & Buster's or a Carnival prize or something like that. But despite the size, he was only $5. So not bad. Okay, next I got a couple of DVDs. I think this might have been from 2 different trips. So first off, I found something I had no idea existed. This is a Choose Your Own Adventure interactive movie. So I love these books, and actually did a video about the video game themed Choose Your Own Adventure books a few months ago, so check that out if you haven't already. But apparently this is like an interactive movie where you can watch through various scenes and then make decisions just like you can in the books, and instead of, flipping to a page, it'll jump to a different scene. And that was just $1.99. Thought that could be interesting. And then I found the entire series of an anime series that I recall some of my friends watching back in college, but I never checked it out, but I hear it's good. It is called Fruits Basket. So from what I understand, it's like a kind of like a romantic comedy type deal, but it's something where it says So this family is cursed, and when a member of the family is embraced by a person of the opposite gender, they transform into an animal of the Chinese zodiac. So, I don't know. It sounded interesting, and each of the 4 DVDs was just $1.99. So a complete series for $8 is not bad. Then a couple other Salvation Army finds. Let me grab this. So I found the Ravensburger Gargoyles Awakening board game. It was $5.99, but it is sealed. This is brand new. And again, it looks like this is one of those games that retails for anywhere from like $20 to $30 at Target or wherever. And I love this show. Growing up, I own the entire series on DVD. I'm collecting the NECA figures. I have the video game. It's just such a good show. And I thought the game might be cool. Or if nothing else, it has some pretty cool little figures. Then one more Salvation Army find. I found the Indominus Rex. Now this is one of the newer figures from Mattel. It's very cool, very detailed, has some pretty cool action features. So there's a button on his back that makes him kind of like grab at stuff, and then there's a button on the tail here that makes it roar, and it doesn't seem to do it every time, but his throat kind of lights up. So let's see here if it works this time. Okay, so it looks like it's white. There you go. So it turns red. That is pretty cool. But yeah, he was a whopping $4.99. I think this was at least maybe $30, $40 figure when it first came out. So, very happy to find him. And then I believe this is the one last thrifting find. And this was actually from a different Goodwill that's not connected to my local ones. It's back in my hometown, so it's kind of like part of a different network of stores. But anyway, I found Myst, the board game. So, of course, this is based on the classic computer game that I'm sure, many of us played as a kid or, checked out on some sort of retro compilation or whatever. But yeah, so this is a board game version of it, and it was only $2.49, and it is 100% complete. So it actually has you building one of 2 puzzles, like jigsaw puzzles, and then there's different cards featuring scenes from the game, and I just thought it was cool. Like, I love video games and stuff based on video games, obviously, and Myst was a childhood favorite, so for $2.50, had to do it. Alrighty, next up, let's look at some online orders. Okay, so first, let me start here. So I had a limited run order show up, and this was just a couple games, but some good ones. If I can get them out. So we have Alien Isolation, the collection for Nintendo Switch. Very cool survival horror game based on the classic Alien franchise. And then I got a game called The Good Life for both Nintendo Switch and PS4. Now, this one sounded really cool to me because it's like a reporter or a journalist, sorry, trying to solve a mystery. And I believe at night, the people turn into animals. They turn into dogs or cats or something. I don't know. It just sounded really cool, really kind of quirky. So I wanted to check that out. And then I got... Here, okay. So a couple things on eBay. A little disappointed with the quality on some of this stuff. I will show you why. But here, if I can actually get them out of this little teeny tiny bag. So when I was a child, they still have them to some extent, but at grocery stores and places like that, at the entrance or exit of the store, they would usually have a row of machines that would either have candy or little toys or like cards or stickers for like a quarter. So you put a quarter in, turn the knob, and you get, whatever it is. And at one point, they had a set of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle lenticular cards. So I've mentioned in previous videos, I was a huge fan of lenticular stuff growing up. I love Ninja Turtles, so this was like a dream for me. And as a child, I got most of them. I think I was missing 2 of the cards, and every time I tried to get them, I would just keep getting doubles, and after a while, they change out the machines, so never completed the set. But on eBay, I found people selling complete sets, and I got all 12 cards, I think, for like $6 shipped. So not bad. Now, when I say I was a little disappointed, on their listing, they show they're all like vibrant white borders and nice, but they're all, pretty yellowed and a little beat up. But, I mean, they are like 30 years old, and it was cheap enough. So, not going to raise a stink or anything. But happy to finally have the complete set after all this time. And again, for not a lot of money. Also, I think it was on or around that same day, I was able to win an auction for the animated series, or Godzilla, the animated series, Volume 3, which was the final official DVD release of these old Hanna-Barbera Godzilla cartoons. So I have Volumes 1 and 2, but this one, for whatever reason, was extremely hard to find, and some people were selling it for like over $100 at one point, which I would never in a million years pay that. But I ended up winning this one for about like 20 something, so not bad. And it is sealed, but the disc is loose, and it sounds like something might be broken in there, so I may end up returning this. On a similar note, the award for the worst packaging of the year goes to the seller that I bought this Jurassic World Dreadnought is from. This is how they shipped it to me. You can see, this is the shipping label. This was sitting outside my house on the ground. What the... What are you doing? Oh my god, I was so pissed off. I still haven't even opened it. So, this came out about a year ago, and it was a Target exclusive, but it was very expensive. And with a lot of these bigger figures, I've had pretty good luck waiting until they either go on sale or go on clearance. So a couple years ago, they released a Brachiosaurus about this size that I think was normally like 60 or 70 bucks. And I waited, and I was able to get it on clearance for $15. And then about a year later, they did an Apatosaurus. Did the same thing. And I'm thinking, okay, I'll do it for this one too. So, sure enough, it finally went on clearance, but I missed it. And then every Target in my area was sold out. Target.com was sold out. So I'm like, crap, I gotta get one before it skyrockets. So I found a seller on eBay that I think is actually like a liquidator for Target. It's called like Bullseye Deals or something. And they had, this was supposed to be new, believe it or not. And they had it listed for like, I think it was like 45, which was already like 30% off, and I'm like, maybe. So I just put it on my watch list, and then maybe like a couple days later, a week later, they sent me an offer of, I think it was $34, $35 with free shipping, obviously. So I was like, that I can do. And it was the last one left. I was like, I gotta do it. I can't miss it. And then, yeah, this is how it showed up. So I still need to open it and make sure it's not like, I mean, I guess if it's not broken, I'm just going to keep it. But still, I'm, obviously not happy about this because common sense, like for collectibles, the packaging is part of the product. That should be very common sense for anyone, I would think. But what do I know? I mean, this is just embarrassing. Like all this brown tape on it. Like, what are you thinking? Ugh. Okay. I can only complain so much. But, alright. Coming back around, I got one more thing on eBay, which is honestly the crown jewel of my entire collection. This is something I've wanted probably since I was, oh my god, like 5 years old. And I am so happy to finally own this. It is an Ernest P. Worrell Halloween mask. Oh my god, this is the coolest, stupidest, but coolest thing ever. So, if you're not familiar with Ernest, go away. I don't want you watching my channel. No, I'm kidding. So the Ernest was a character created by Jim Varney in the, I want to say that he started making the movies anyway in the 80s. And he is just a hilarious kind of rubber-faced comedian, kind of like early Jim Carrey stuff, where he plays all these goofy characters in his movies, and he's kind of like a bumbling idiot in a way, but he always makes everybody's lives better and kind of like saves the day. So some of the best movies are Ernest Scared Stupid, the Halloween movie, Ernest Saves Christmas, which is an annual watch in this home, let me tell you, every Christmas. But yeah, this, oh my god, I could not be happier with this. This is just too good. So, okay, we're going to continue. Nothing is ever going to top this, but I got some other cool stuff to show you. So, just know this is the crown jewel of my collection. Okay, so enough about that. Let's move on to some... Oh, here we go. So I got the latest batch of Amiibo. So I got, of course, Ganondorf and Zelda were the brand new ones, and then I actually missed Link when he was originally released with Tears of the Kingdom, so I was able to grab the re-release, thankfully. Now, something kind of interesting, I personally don't care about this anymore, but if you collect strictly first print Amiibo, you'll notice the back of Zelda and Ganon have, specific information about the game and what they do in the game. But Link, like a lot of other newer Amiibo, just have this kind of generic background. And I'm pretty sure the original release of Link back in whenever Tears of the Kingdom came out, what was that, May, June, July, I don't know, summer. It did have this type of background. So if you care, just something to be aware of. I just opened the figures, so it's all good. But, okay, on that note, let's get into Black Friday stuff. So Black Friday this year, I initially didn't really plan to buy anything. There were some deals that I'm like, that's pretty cheap. I would like to buy that, but I don't know. I was kind of holding out, hoping there was going to be a deal on a PlayStation 5, which I still do not own after 3 years, and it's just killing me inside. So, sure enough, on Black Friday, Target did a Target Circle offer to get a PlayStation 5 disc model, the original version, not the new slim version, for $350. So 30% off the $500 retail price. And it was supposed to go live at 2 a.m., So basically, you have to clip the coupon, add it to your cart. It was only available for store pickup, by the way. You couldn't have it shipped. So I was at my computer, 2 a.m., got the coupon, got it in my cart, go to checkout, get my payment approved, click submit, error. Try another store, error. Another store, sold out. Another store, sold. I didn't get it! Oh, I was so pissed. So, yeah, I still do not have a PS5 because I blew it, or Target blew it, but whatever. So, I ended up just ordering some other fun stuff, just so it wasn't a complete disappointment. So, speaking of Target, let me start with those since we just looked at the other amiibo. I ended up grabbing the Splatoon 3 amiibo, along with the absolutely amazing Jurassic World Hammond Collection Tyrannosaurus Rex. So they had some pretty absolutely insane deals on toys, and this figure, which I want to say it was $50 when it originally released, they had it on sale for $15.99, which is just absurd because this is one of the most detailed, articulated figures ever. I mean, this thing is incredible. Even if you don't care about Jurassic World at all and you like dinosaurs, buy this figure. Anyway, so that was $15.99, and of course the new amiibo are also $15.99. And I had a Target Circle deal. It was like $10 off of $50, or $10 off of $60. Sorry. And I ended up getting all of these with that discount and like the red card for about $13 each, which for this is insane. And for the amiibo, I mean, that's what they used to cost and probably still should, in my opinion. But I figured I'm not going to get them cheaper, and other stores were starting to sell out, so might as well get them while I can. So I am 100% caught up on amiibo once again. Got this awesome T-Rex. And then one other Target thing. So I randomly had a $5 in-store coupon that was about to expire, and I ended up finding a new Sonic figure from Jax. So this one's pretty neat. It might be kind of hard to see in the bubble there, but it's him doing his kind of like figure 8 run move. So kind of a cool variant of the many Sonic figures they've already released. And then finally, I got a bunch of video games on Black Friday. So I ended up ordering a couple games from Best Buy. There were a few others I was interested in, but they sold out, so whatever. But I got a few things for Switch. I got the Atari 50 collection, finally. I've been wanting to check this out for quite a while. That, I think, was down to $20. I got Omori, which is a pretty interesting indie game. I think I actually backed this Kickstarter, and I got, I want to say I got like the Steam version from that, but I thought it'd be cool to get a physical version, and this was, I think it was down to like $25. And then I got We Love Katamari Reroll, which is, of course, a remake of the PS2, the second PS2 game, and this was also down to $20. And then a couple PS4 games that were on clearance for, I believe, $13.99 each. So I got Lego Star Wars, The Skywalker Saga, which I've been dying to check out. And I decided to go with this version because I heard the Switch version, it runs okay, but like graphically it's super, super downgraded. And this one, again, as I mentioned, I did not get the PS5 like I was hoping. But this is a free upgrade to the PS5 digital version, so I figure if I ever do get one, I'm covered either way. And now I could play it on my PS4 in the meantime. Same deal with this. I finally picked up Mortal Kombat 11 Ultimate, which also has a PS5 upgrade for free. And from what I've read, this one includes all of the DLC on disc, I believe. I think this is the only version that has it all on the physical disc. You don't have to do like a voucher for the DLC or anything. And yeah, again, it was $14, so I don't think it was going to get much cheaper than that. And then I got another stack of games from GameStop, who... With GameStop, it's always kind of a gamble ordering online, because to them a new game means it exists. Like, it could be open, it could be missing its packaging, but oh, here, it's a new game. Okay. And I don't know, I'm kind of done with GameStop. For the first time in probably 20 or maybe even 30 years, I did not renew my Pro membership, just because it's too expensive, and the closest GameStop is like 40 minutes away. They closed all my awesome local ones, so it's just not worth it. I don't know. If they give me a discount, I might do it again. We'll see. But anyway, there were some really good deals on Switch games, which I couldn't really resist, so put it in order. First off, I got Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze, which I do have the Wii U version, but I kind of wanted the Switch version for the portability. That was down to $30, and it is actually sealed, so good job on that one. I got Everybody 1-2 Switch, which I'm sure isn't amazing, but I did enjoy the original 1-2 Switch, and this was only $10, and it's sealed, so that's cool. Got the latest Kirby, which is actually a remake. Again, this is Kirby's Return to Dreamland Deluxe, a port of the Nintendo Wii game, which I didn't finish, but I played some of and really enjoyed. So I thought, get the cool upgraded portable version. Again, that I think was $30 and sealed. And then, actually a couple more Switch games here before we get to those. I noticed they had a couple exclusive 2-packs of games from, I don't actually know how to pronounce it. It's ININ. I don't know if it's Inin or Inin. I don't know. But it's a company that does a lot of pretty cool like compilations or remakes or remasters of classic games, like a lot of shoot 'em ups or platformers, that sort of thing. So I noticed they had a 2-pack of Cotton Fantasy and Cotton Reboot. So Cotton is a classic shoot 'em up series that was very big in Japan. I think only a handful of them came out here, if any. And they were on maybe TurboGrafx or Turbo Duo, something like that. So very, very obscure. But I also thought they looked fun because you play as like a little witch on a broom. And these 2-packs were $29.99 for both games. And I saw Amazon was selling them individually for $25 each. So I thought that was a great deal. So I got the Cotton 2-pack, and then I also got the Wonder Boy 2-pack. So this is Wonder Boy, Asha, and Monster World, which is a full remake of Monster World 4, which came out for Sega Mega Drive, but only in Japan. And what's kind of cool about the Switch version, it actually includes the original game on the cart. And then there's also the more recently released Wonder Boy Collection, which is a compilation of all 4 games. So I guess now I have Monster World 4 twice, but thought it was cool that it had the other games in the series. So again, $30. And then one final Switch game, which I definitely will be returning because this is just nonsense, is the Silver Case 2425 for Switch. This was supposed to be new, and it's supposed to be the deluxe edition that came with an outer box with a soundtrack and some art cards. But this is very clearly not new. There's bite marks on the game. It's ridiculous. So again, this was supposed to be brand new for $30, but I'm definitely returning that. Okay, finally, two last games here. So I finally picked up Doom Eternal for PS4. It was down to $10. Not bad. And then one other game that was supposed to be new, but I'm going to let it slide just because it's so obscure, is a game called Tandem: A Tale of Shadows. So this is kind of like a somewhat horror-themed puzzle platformer game. And this was down to, I believe, $13? Down from $50? And I think previously, the lowest I had seen it was maybe around $30 or $40, and I think I got the last copy. So again, it's supposed to be new, but if it's that cheap and it's actually in decent shape, I'll let it slide this time. Okay, so that was pretty much it for Black Friday, but then one final thing that technically wasn't supposed to be out until December 1st, but we lucked out and found early, is a lot of the new Lorcana cards. So the new second set of Lorcana, which is called Rise of the Floodborn, was supposed to release at stores like Target and Walmart and other major retailers on December 1st. But we had heard in some of like the online groups that were in like Facebook, Reddit, and whatnot, that people were finding them a couple days early at like their local Walmarts, or a couple people said their Targets had them. So I believe it was Thursday evening, so November 30th, Thursday evening, I decided to run over to my local Target, and as I walk in, they were stocking the shelf. This is the second time that has happened. That happened to me with the first chapter. I went in, I think it was like the Tuesday or Wednesday after what was supposed to be the official release date. Just randomly went in for like some soup in the evening, and they were just putting everything out. So I don't know if I'm like super lucky or just I have like some sixth sense of knowing when they're stocking our cards. But anyway, I was so excited. I picked up a couple individual booster packs. So there's 3. All the packs are random, but I like these outer sleeves. They have really cool artwork. So we have Beast, Queen of Hearts, and then Raya. And then there were, this time in the first chapter, there were 3 different decks. This set only had 2, but we picked up both of the starter decks. So these are pre-constructed decks that if you're new to the game or just want to get a decent selection of 60 cards, this will allow you to play right out the box. And each one also comes with a booster pack of random cards. So that's good. And then also, very happy to get the new Trove. So what the Trove is, these are all open, by the way. We already took out and like sorted all the cards. But a Trove is a couple different items. So it's a very cool kind of storage box featuring some really cool artwork on the sides, top and bottom. That's upside down, sorry. And then inside, it comes with a player's guide that features kind of like some backstory on the game, and then it has like recommended deck building tips and stuff, and it also has images of every card in that set. So very cool. They also come with some little deck boxes that you can assemble. They're not super great quality. They're just like paper, but still pretty cool artwork. There are some of the damage counters. They're just cardboard. You just pop them out, so it's -1 and -3 if you can't see it. And then each Trove also, so again, these are empty, but each Trove comes with 8 booster packs. So the booster packs at Target, their retail price is $5.99, which is the lowest you're going to find anywhere, because there's some shady card shops that try to sell individual packs, just a pack of 12 cards, for $20, which is disgusting. Do not pay that. Oh my god. But anyway, so the individual packs at Target are $5.99, and at Trove is $50. So it's essentially an extra $2 to get this cool box, the counters, the player's guide, and the 2 deck boxes. So I think it's a no-brainer. I guess these are pretty hard to find unless you're in the right place, right time, kind of like I was. But knock on wood, it'll be good going forward. But I was able to get one for the first chapter, and now for Rise of the Floodborn. So I'm going to try to get every one they release, because we love this game. We play in a league on Sundays. If you're interested, definitely check it out. It's a lot of fun. Okay, that is everything. Again, a lot of really cool stuff. Couple disappointments in terms of condition and packaging, but finally, after 30 years, got my white whale, and my life is now complete. So, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you have any questions or comments, drop them down below. Let me know what you think. And I will have lots more videos on the way, so be sure to subscribe if you haven't already. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you had a great Thanksgiving, Black Friday weekend, and I hope the upcoming holidays are great. So be sure to check back, and I will see you next time.